Everyone, welcome to the very first edition of the There's Nobody Here Named Josh, the podcast where we are true to the name. There's currently nobody here named Josh. My name is Kevin, and I'm joined by Will.
What it do?
Who will be here most of the time, likely co-hosting the show with me. And today's guest, and perhaps also here most of the time, is my buddy Rob.
How's it going?
All right, so before we begin officially, I'm going to lay down some ground rules for everybody here listening. First of all, there is nobody here named Josh. Nobody here. I'm not named Josh. Rob's not named Josh. There's nobody here named Josh.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, so also, and this is most important, that this is a not safe for work podcast. So there will be swearing and other types of language, also meaning there could be topics that may not be suitable for young ears. So if you're listening and you think you shouldn't be hearing things about like sex and drugs, etc., that kind of topic, here's your chance to back out. Now you've been warned. So we're going to go right back into our the main topic now. I was pondering what this kind of topic is going to be. I was thinking something near and dear to my heart: bad video game movies. So do you guys know of any?
Is there any good video game movies?
I think that's the better question.
I don't know. Like, I watched Sonic the other day, and Sonic was decent.
I've yet to see Sonic, but however, I remember there was a huge uproar before the movie came out, and they had to redo the whole character basis of that movie because it was horrible.
Yeah, didn't the internet bully an entire movie studio about this?
Oh yes.
Yeah, like the original design for Sonic was so horrid, and they were already pretty much complete the movie, but when they released it, the world went nuts to the point where the actual studio had to redo Sonic itself.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Rob, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. You can hear me?
Oh, yeah. Well, you went dead there for a second. So it's all good. Yeah, they did. It was really, really, really bad. Like, he had like human-like eyes, and he looked like some weird thing. So he
looked like a furry.
Yeah. So when he premiered on that trailer, or whatever you want to call it, they had to go back and redo it, and he actually looks better now.
I have a theory, actually. I don't think that was the design that they had, actually.
No,
I think it was a big publicity stunt
to kind of get like the movie out there, make a big stink about it, so that everybody's talking about it, so they go see the movie to see how it turns out.
Okay, well, have you played or seen any of the 3D Sonic games?
Yeah,
I think I played the one on the Dreamcast.
I think almost all of them, without fail, are atrocious. Sonic Boom, that game's not done, and it was released.
It wasn't done.
There's no way that was done.
Well, video games nowadays have a tendency of not being released whole. You know, the reason why you have to buy DLC all the freaking time.
That's a game's way of saying our game's going to suck in some aspects. People are going to glitch, and now we can get away with it by saying we're going to release this in our beta form.
Ugh.
Sonic Boom isn't modern, guys.
I know it's not modern. I know that. I know.
There's no DLC. There's no it was released. The animations aren't done properly. Like in the cutscenes, characters glitch through the ground. Like the whole thing's broken. The game itself is broken. There's no way it's complete. So when people heard that they were releasing a Sonic movie, I feel like the expectations were kind of low. So the studio took it upon themselves to make it right, and then they released a trailer with an awful Sonic design. Think of all the free advertising they got from all those memes.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Yeah, for sure.
But then they had to spend millions of dollars, or supposedly spend millions of dollars, to redo Sonic, right? So, you know, it's just, we can't.
It is simply conspiracy. There is no confirmation on anything.
Well, that's true. That is very, very true. you know. But the one movie that I want to talk about, we'll get to the worst one of them all, in my opinion. The worst movie, the worst video game movie. Well, not really the worst. Maybe they're tied, I would say. The first one is a Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh my god.
Super Mario. I watched that earlier today. Like, I was literally going to pay money to watch that movie again, but thankfully somebody uploaded it to YouTube in its entirety, free of charge. And I guess it's so bad that YouTube isn't even going to bring it down, because it'd be like, who the hell is going to watch this movie? So they're not really worrying about copyright, right?
This is how bad that movie is. I watched it when I was younger, so obviously younger, I wasn't opinionated enough to tell it was a bad movie. However, I started watching a 21-minute video on YouTube about all the really bad things about the movie, and I got 6 minutes in, and just clips of the movie was so bad I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, it was awful. Awful.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, and I don't have any good memories of it.
You know, it's just bad. Like, there's a lot of things that had nothing to do with the fucking game, right?
Although we did get confirmation that it is Mario and Luigi Mario.
Well, yeah, maybe. Okay, maybe that's
the only good thing.
Good thing that came of that. You know, like, there's one scene where they were going to some sort of party, and Mario was wearing yellow and Luigi was wearing red. I'm like, what? How hard could it have been to put Mario in red and Luigi in green?
The only way that could be acceptable is if Luigi was actually in purple. Then you could do like a Wario and Waluigi sort of.
This was way before Wario and Waluigi. Like, way before.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But a lot of people do put sort of Easter eggs into that for plans in the future.
I don't even think Waluigi at that point in time would have been a twinkle in anybody's eye.
No, nobody.
Never was.
No, it was.
Never was anyway.
It was bad. Like, bad. The movie was bad. Like, it's just really, really bad. Like, I'm going to bring up like a couple reviews. Like, I know no one can see what we're doing because this is going to be an audio only podcast, but bringing up some reviews on Mario, and it's just really bad. When was the last time you guys watched it?
Oh Christ,
dude, it's been 20 years.
20 years. Yeah.
It must have been like 5-6 years for me.
Yeah. I just watched it today, and it just to refresh my memory on.
So to give you an idea on how it rated overall,
yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 23%. On Common Sense Media, it is 2 out of 5, and it is a 4.1 out of 10 on IMDb.
Good Lord.
I think 4.1 out of 10 is a bit generous, honestly.
I was going to say, that's not bad for IMDb for a botched movie.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible. Pretty horrible.
Although, like, across those three sites, those ratings are fairly consistent, I would say.
I don't know. Apparently, I saw one review here. Someone written back in August 13th, 2019 by someone, Baseball Mom 1970, gave it 4 out of 5 stars and said, "This is so epic, you need to watch this now." I bet you her name is Karen.
That bitch.
I bet you her name is Karen.
You can't say that anymore, apparently.
What, Karen?
Yeah, I saw a meme about it. I'm not actually being serious.
On this podcast, you can call anybody anything you want. Well, maybe not anything.
Maybe not anything.
Yeah.
No, I saw this thing on Twitter that said, and I quote, "Yes, the K word is stronger than the N word, at least currently."
Was it written by a white person?
Actually. Her name is Emily, though, not Karen.
Yeah, well. Mm-hmm.
Well, then we'll refer to her as Carol Baskin then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing nowadays. I'm not watching Tiger King.
What? Why not?
No.
I can't.
No, I will not do it.
Oh my god, I know life did. Me and the wife watched it start to finish in 3 days.
No, I
I saw
not
episode
watch it.
1. I could not bring myself to watch episode 2. I couldn't. I just couldn't.
I have a really good friend who's watching it right now, and she got. I'm not sure whether she got any further than this, but the last time I talked to her, she said she was watching up to episode 4. I have no idea whether she got any further, but I won't watch it. I won't.
I'm pretty sure it's only 4 episodes that include the Joe Exotic and the Carol Baskin stuff, and apparently the 5th episode they released is just an update as to how the parks are doing now.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very, very short series, but oh my god, is it well worth a watch. Like, there's a lot of talk about everything, but dude, you gotta watch it. I'm not gonna talk about it. You have to watch it. You will watch it eventually.
No,
you will.
No,
Yes, you
no,
will.
I won't. No, I won't. I will not do it because it's just so. It's annoying to me, and I haven't even watched this whole Carol Baskin killed her husband thing. It's so annoying to me right now that I just won't watch it.
Once the hype calms down.
My friend was dragged into a research project about, like, in university about this this whole Carol Baskin thing and her husband, and every bit of research that she did proved that it is pure speculation, and the whole point of the research project was to say that she did kill her husband. It's just a meme at this point.
I don't know. I just no, I won't. Well, let's get back to Mario.
Yeah, I've been scrolling through reviews while we were talking about this on Google, and there are a shocking amount of 4 and 5 star reviews.
And I don't understand. Like, are they all recent ones or
3 months ago? The 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie was amazing. Period. Space. Not capitalized. Was a groundbreaking film.
Was.
In was a
groundbreaking
film. 2 months ago, Heaven misspelled. Very nice. Quality animation.
Oh my god.
These are trolls for sure.
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah, they have to be trolls. Like, I'm reading a review right now, and I kind of agree with it a little bit, sort of. It's a positive review.
Is it that Nathaniel Thomas?
I don't know. Maybe. I think so.
It's a 5-star review. It says, as an adaptation of the Mario games, the movie fails.
Yeah.
And then it talks about what it did right and what it did good and whatever. Yeah.
This movie is way too fun and charming to be associated with Pig Swill like Double Dragon and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Double Dragon. I had completely forgot about the Double Dragon movie until I read this review right now. That's how bad I guess that was. But the only reason why I remember Mortal Kombat is because I'm a big, big Mortal Kombat fan.
Who hasn't seen Mortal Kombat if you were born before 1990?
You know?
And played any type of video games?
Well, unfortunately for us, Mr. Will he's a child of the 2000s.
Okay.
You know?
Seen Mortal Kombat?
I have.
Well, he's seen it.
But
yeah, he's seen it, obviously.
Any gamer that's ever played a Mortal Kombat game, there's a really, really high chance that they have watched the movie.
Well,
I was more into Pokemon than Mortal Kombat, and even before very recently, I think I've seen like bits and pieces of the Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh man, Pokemon! I remember standing in line for Pokemon Red the day it was released.
Me too.
And then mystery gifting when the Game Boy Colors came out. Well, yeah, mystery gifting on the bus on the way to school with our link cables.
I remember all that too.
Man, no one of my friends had any link cables, and I was really upset. I couldn't do any trades. I could never 100% the Pokedex.
Man, like this whole Pokemon thing, it's still going on, man. It's like 2020.
Yeah, what is it now? Sword and Shield?
Pardon?
Have you played Sword and Shield?
No.
I played Shield.
My
we got-
ex-wife. My
go ahead.
ex-wife has. I believe my ex-wife has. She's played Pokemon. I think she's played all the Pokemon games so far. I know I bought her a few.
I've played every generation. Like, there was red, blue, yellow, and of course the Japanese exclusive green. Was it silver, gold, and crystal?
You played green?
Well, I didn't play green, but like Generation 1, then Gen 2, and then Gen 3, and then the Gen 1 remakes and the Gen 3 era.
Okay.
I think I didn't play Gen 6 or 7, and then Generation 8, which I'm pretty sure is Sword and Shield. That's the latest one I've played.
Yeah, I played Silver and Gold, and then I took a hiatus from Pokemon, and then I played X, beat X, and then I just played Sword. Me and the wife both played through it, and I mean, it's infinite playthrough.
What about this whole Pokemon Go thing?
Still playing it.
You're still playing Pokemon Go?
100%. Today was Community Abra Day.
It's still going on.
Yeah.
Damn, I played for a good solid year, and then they did this thing for your accounts where you could activate it with Facebook or something, and I lost my account, and I lost all interest. I put way too much time and effort to start fresh.
I'm glad I didn't connect mine to Facebook. I had a thing with that recently where my whole account was just disabled, Instagram and Facebook, because those two were linked.
They didn't give you a reason for it?
They didn't specify any reason. Like when I discovered that it was disabled, and from what I was able to read up, having the last name McSomething is likely the reason. And like I can't get it. I can't get that account back to change that name. I can't get that account back to like transfer any data to a new account. I can't do anything.
What's really weird is that you have to have a last name on there, but my last name on Facebook, and I'm probably going to give this, I can't believe I'm about to give this away because I don't know whether people are going to find me or something. It's just a letter C.
We could have saved that. We could have just said it was just one letter.
Yeah, well, whatever. I don't care. I don't really go on Facebook anyways. It's just one letter then, right? It's just one letter. And I haven't been banned or nothing like that.
Well, my buddy Austin has his last name as a nickname last name, and he's fine. My friend Haley down in New York, she has her last name on Facebook as like alt, like it is an alt account. It is an alternate account from her main Facebook account, and she's fine. A lot of the people I know who have like just a joke last name or a nickname or something along those lines, they're all fine. I don't know what was wrong with McSomething.
It doesn't sound. There's nothing wrong with McSomething. I don't see any reason why there wouldn't be.
There are other people on Facebook with that last name.
Now, I got red flagged about 9 years ago because I jokingly changed my name to Buzz Lightyear on Facebook.
I think I remember that.
And within 3 days of me putting it up there, they forcefully made me change my name. To any other name. I put it back to my legal name, but change my name due to copyright infringements with Disney.
Well, I could totally see that.
But what if I legally went and changed my name to Buzz Lightyear? Can they still stop me from putting it up there?
No, you would have to. You could send them like a valid ID and prove to them that, hey, this is actually my name.
Yeah, but I could Photoshop my ID to say Buzz Lightyear, and they'd be none the wiser.
Yeah, you totally could do that. Yeah,
likely.
Yeah, but
to verify my ID, all they asked for was a picture of any valid ID. I obviously didn't Photoshop any of it, and I censored out like in person, like I put a pen over some text that isn't supposed to be revealed to just random people online.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't upload.
Oh, geez. When I got married last summer, my wife went to change her name the day of the marriage, and they made her send in a picture of the marriage certificate to change her name.
I think that's a thing that they normally do anyways, isn't it?
I don't know. It's new to me. I think it's kind of ridiculous that you need to provide proof for social
there's
media.
a whole policy that even Google dropped. It's something about having a real name and not having a fake name that Facebook is still using. It is mildly controversial. I don't know everything about it. I looked into it briefly. That's just how I came to the conclusion that was why my account was disabled.
Well, then probably the reason why I haven't gotten banned or anything, because the letter that's there is the actual first letter of my actual last name.
And you haven't changed that since I've known you either.
No. When I logged into Facebook for the very first time, when I joined Facebook for the very first time, that was the name I put there, and that hasn't been changed since day one.
I think for 7 years on Facebook, my name was Mick something. So I don't know why it would be an issue now.
Well, I don't know.
I think someone may have gone and red flagged it themselves. I don't know. I have no proof. Either that or Facebook noticed it and decided that was something not okay.
It could be anything, really.
Yeah, who knows? Algorithms can be pretty weird.
All right. Well, Rob just had to bow out for a couple minutes. He has a new baby at home.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. He has a new baby at home. He just messaged me, and he just said he has a fussy baby, and his wife is dyeing her hair and things like that. So he'll be back. He'll be back later on. So,
all right.
We can talk about Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Like I don't know. I might put a fatality or something like that. Like I don't know whether we're gonna do about copyrights for this thing. Again, this is my first kick at the can of this whole podcast thing, right? So I'm giving it a shot. I'm trying my very best to do this whole podcast thing. So far, I like it. But we can go back to Mortal Kombat. I'm watching the movie right now as we're talking, right? And as a Mortal Kombat fan since day one, I have beaten and played and watched everything except one thing that has the word Mortal Kombat in it. I've seen every cartoon movie, every live action thing that they put up on YouTube. I've seen this movie. I've seen the first movie. I've played and beaten everything that has to do with Mortal Kombat. I'm seeing this thing and I'm looking at it and I'm like, God, this is awful. Like horribly, horribly awful. Like I could point out many things. At the very beginning, they had CGI fights and what looked like horrible fights over a green screen.
What was with Johnny Cage at the very beginning of Annihilation?
Well, I don't know. Like you see, the actors that were in the first movie were replaced. Sonya is not the same Sonya, and Johnny Cage is not the same Johnny Cage.
They kind of nearly got away with it with Cage. Sonya, it was way too obvious.
No.
No,
they don't look the same at all.
They don't look the same, but like if you're not paying full attention, you could mistake the two.
The only way you could have mistaken the two is if you didn't see the first one. Really. Because
if you're not paying full attention.
Yeah, well, okay, I guess. But watching it and some of the storyline, this is like Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 combined. And I that shouldn't be it. In the realm of Mortal Kombat, I don't think that should be it. Like Nightwolf was in this movie, Cyrax was in this movie, Smoke, like Robo Smoke was in this movie. It shouldn't be in this movie. Nightwolf wasn't in MK2. Cyrax wasn't in MK2. Robo Smoke wasn't in MK2, but Human Smoke was. Reptile shouldn't be in this. Well, no, Reptile was in Mortal Kombat 2. He was a hidden character, but it's just this whole animality thing. Good Lord. Like,
yeah, that felt really, really strange and kind of just forced in there to me.
I'm watching the movie, like the part of the movie where I'm watching right now is Liu Kang versus Shao Kahn at the end.
Oh, okay.
Shao Kahn turned into some sort of 5-headed or 4-headed
A
snake
Hydra or something.
thingy. Yeah. And Liu Kang turns into this dragon that looks like it ate a little bit too many people because it's a little fat, little pudgy dragon. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, looks like a horrible, horrible CGI. Now, mind you, this was like 1997.
Yeah.
Right?
The way I described it earlier to you was like an indie game from 2006, 2007.
Yeah. It's just really, really, really bad. And I don't know why. Like, and then earlier in the movie, like, Jade comes out, and Jade, don't even get me started on Jade.
Jesus.
One of the most horrific acting jobs I have ever seen. You know, but now we will live. Shut up. Like,
they sounded disinterested in their own movie, really.
Like you come out, and first you come out wearing pretty much nothing and like seduce Liu Kang. And I remember I went to go see this with my friend Lyle in when it came out in the theaters. And when I sat there at the old movie theater here where we are, used to have this this was way before you were born, and it was Galaxy, like, by the time you realized what a movie theater was. But right where the movie theater is now in the mall, there was a restaurant, and there was a grocery store, and there was the movie theater. So I
remember the earliest I remember it was the arcade and movie theater.
Yeah, that was long ago. Like, this movie theater, this movie
then they
theater,
cut it in half and throw a dollar store there.
Yeah, this movie theater that was there was like super old school. Like, you'd walk in.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd walk in, and outside the wall there'd be the posters of all the movies that are coming, and then you'd walk in the door and there'd be an usher there. And over, from what I remember, over on the left-hand side, that's where all the concession stands were. And it was sticky. Popcorn all over the floor. You know, popcorn all over the floor. And the floors were sticky as all hell. And the old seats, just really, really uncomfortable seats. But the screen had a giant red curtain.
Oh my God, I love that.
Had a giant red curtain, and whenever the movie was playing, like when the movie was starting to play, it would open the curtain, right? Like, the curtain would open. It was like really old school. And yeah, so I watched the Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the first Mortal Kombat, in that theater, but then I watched this movie Annihilation in the same theater. And I remember sitting there with my friend Lyle, and when Jade came out, the first words out of my mouth was porno combat. It was just weird, right? Like, Jade came out like pretty much wearing nothing, like tits hanging everywhere.
Yeah.
And now, don't get me wrong, the actress was beautiful.
Was there even like, it's barely in my head. Like, it's so hard to remember because it was that bad. Didn't she have some sort of like cloak on at first, or?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't remember that right.
Yeah, she had some sort of cloak on at first, and then all of a sudden just, seductively just let it go off her shoulders, and it fell to the floor, and she was wearing some sort of like loincloth or something like that. I have no idea. Like, don't get me wrong, the actress is beautiful.
No, but that was a test though, so it's okay.
Yeah, the actress is beautiful, absolutely beautiful actress.
100%.
Right? But I don't know. I just couldn't stand that movie. Plus, another thing that I'm noticing about this movie is Jax, right? The actor that plays Jax. I'm not going to mention any actors or actresses' names or anything like that because I don't know, copyrights and all that sort of stuff, and I just don't want to deal with that.
You can list like actor names in different movies.
Oh, yeah?
Like, copyright laws are weird. I'll talk to you about it after.
Well, we can then, if you know the actor, I
don't, off the top of my head, I don't.
No. Well, I just looked it up, and I guess the actor, I'm going to look it up right here. The actor that played Jax see what his name was. Well, it's not showing me his name. I could find it if I really truly put effort into it. But let's see. Top billed cast, full cast.
Lynn Williams.
Yeah, IMDb, right? Lynn Red Williams. He jacked. Like he was huge.
Oh, yeah.
He was huge. I don't agree with the whole arm enhancement thing. In the game, his arms were removed from his body.
He just has to believe in himself, though.
Yeah, like that's dumb. Like it was dumb. Like I'm looking up the only returning actors from the first movie was Robin Shou, who played Liu Kang, and Talisa Soto, who played Katana.
Right.
Those are the only two returning actors. James Remar as Raiden. Like, no. Christopher Lambert. He will always be Raiden to me.
When you when you watch the first one and then like the second one like back to back like I did, I think what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago? It is extremely jarring, especially with Raiden, because like he looks extremely different and he sounds just opposite to how he did in the first movie.
Yeah, he totally does. Like again, I'm looking up the things here, right? Like Brian Thompson as Shao Kahn. Like if you don't know who Brian Thompson is, he was in Joe Dirt, he was in Dragonheart, he was in Cobra, he was in multiple movies.
Right.
He didn't do a very good job as Shao Kahn. Like Shao Kahn, he should be massive. Like Shao Kahn should be like broad shouldered. Do you know who could play Shao Kahn? If I had to re-choose it, would be Brock Lesnar.
Really?
Oh yeah, Brock Lesnar could play Shao Kahn. Brock Lesnar's like 6 foot something or other, really big, really broad shoulders, built like a brick shithouse. You know what I mean? Like massive man.
No, he is huge.
Brock Lesnar could play.
When I say huge, for the listeners, I don't mean he is fat. I mean like he is jacked.
Oh, people these days, I think the people who would be listening to the podcast would know who Brock Lesnar is. Maybe. Brock
On the
Lesnar.
off chance,
Yeah, maybe. Brock Lesnar, former UFC fighter, WWE superstar, massive man. You know what I mean? And I have no idea who half these people are. Like Darren McBee played Mutaro, who shouldn't even be in the freaking movie to fucking begin with. You know what I mean?
Keith Cook as the new Sub-Zero.
Well, that's a thing.
What do you think of that?
That's a thing, though.
It is a thing, yeah.
Right? Like, because in the
I
first
felt he did an okay job, honestly, as the new Sub-Zero.
The movie he was horribly acted. That was a horrible little part, even though he was only in the movie for like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Not even 10 minutes.
Part of it, like a few bits of it was all right, but like the way he delivered his lines wasn't. It's just a lot of disinterest, honestly.
This whole movie, it seemed like people weren't really interested in the whole thing. Again, Keith Cook, he played Sub-Zero's brother, which is true, which is very true, because in the first game, the Sub-Zero that's in the first game is not the same Sub-Zero that's in the second game. Right? So the whole thing was Liu Kang killed Sub-Zero. No, Scorpion killed Sub-Zero in the first game, and then he came back in the second game, which was Sub-Zero's brother. And the first Sub-Zero from the first Mortal Kombat game actually turned into Noob Saibot. So that's that thing.
Okay.
So Noob Saibot in the game right now is actually the first Sub-Zero from the first game. So
that's really interesting.
That's a whole thing. So the Sub-Zero brother thing there with the scar down his eye, that's a real thing. But it was horribly acted. I was just looking at these characters again. Sindel. Oh, Sindel. Oh my God. The actress was beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. Who plays her? Oh, Musetta Vander. I've never even heard of her before. She's from
Where are you looking
She's
on
from
this?
South Africa. She's in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? She's a siren, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I love that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Huh.
You know,
Interesting.
it's really the only movie I've seen her in. Never seen any of the other movies she was ever in. Nope. It was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And Mortal Kombat. That's it. It's all I've ever seen her in. She's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, but she did not play Sindel well at all. Jade, you know, and again, all of this is just my personal opinion. So if anybody out there is listening and you don't agree with me, that's okay, because this is just
Everyone has their own opinion.
Exactly. The lady who's played Jade, right, Irina Pantadiva, she's gorgeous too. Like all the people in this movie are just really good looking people. But I've never seen her in anything else. Like I'm looking at her IMDb page right now, and I'm seeing her as Jade in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and I'm seeing her as Irina in 2001 Zoolander.
The budget for this movie was $30 million US.
That's low, and I bet you it didn't make it. It didn't make that money back.
It made at the box office. It made 51.3 million US.
That's okay, I guess, but
like they got a bit of a profit out of it.
You know, that's okay. I guess that's okay. Shiva Margene Holden. She's an actress, stunt woman. I've seen a couple of her: Mortal Kombat, Lost World, Jurassic Park. You know, Stop. I think she was in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Yeah, she was in that. I've seen that movie.
I'm gonna like just take a step back from the actors and look at the movies for just one quick second.
All right.
Mortal Kombat 1, like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that there was sort of like there was almost a subtone of like female empowerment. Like you could look at Sonya Blade and you could respect the character if you didn't know like the video games. And then Mortal Kombat Annihilation, it felt that was sort of ripped.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'd agree with you on that.
It wasn't just me like looking at stuff that wasn't there then. Okay.
No, I would agree with that. I would agree with that with you. But you know, it's okay. Well, let's talk about the first Mortal Kombat movie then for a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Like compared to the first Mortal Kombat movie, the second Mortal Kombat movie did the worst movie of all time because the budget for the first Mortal Kombat movie was $18 million.
Oh, wow.
18 million, and it made 122.1 million in the box office. So it made its money back and then some. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a big thing. You know, so it made its money back, and again, it spun off. We had the 1997 sequel film, the most horrible movie ever made. Plus, you know, Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, which was a cartoon, and Mortal Kombat Conquest, which was a live action Mortal Kombat thing that would air on TV. I remember watching it on TV. But
let's just go back and rewrite time just super, super quick. And let's just take out from the first movie, let's just remove from the final cut that bit of the Emperor coming in.
The second movie or you mean at the end?
At the end of the first movie.
Yeah. You weak, pathetic fools, I've come for your souls. Okay, shut up, Shao Kahn. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Like we could just leave it at you humans are unpredictable and them walking off, and that's it. Happy ending.
No. Like if you're going to bring back Shao Kahn, you got to bring back Shao Kahn like that.
Yeah, okay. They brought back Shao Kahn. It was great, but it led to a crappy movie.
Well, okay. Having Mortal Kombat having Shao Kahn coming there is fine, But they should have brought Shao Kahn back as he was at the end of the first movie. Because Shao Kahn is not human. Shao Kahn's not human.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't look human. He doesn't. Okay. Sorry. He might look human because he has 2 arms and 2 legs and hands and feet and a head. And
Humanoid.
Humanoid. But he doesn't. He's not human. Underneath his mask, he does not look human. He doesn't act human. He has abnormally a lot of strength. So he's not human. So why, when they make the sequel, do they make him human? Like, they couldn't have used at least a little bit of their budget for some makeup at all? Like, did they spend it all on Jax's horrible arms?
I think they spent it all on the CG.
Oh God!
Like if you want to talk about like where we genuinely think the budget went, I think so much of it went to the CG, but it wasn't done right.
So bad, and I don't know. Like it's just a bad movie, and again. This is just my opinion of the movie, and just we're just gonna just bad.
Although, would you believe that for them, like I'm looking up Mortal Kombat movie cast on Google, you can see an IMDb rating, Metacritic, and Rotten Tomatoes. Metacritic and IMDb both have a 5.8 out of 10. That is 58%. Rotten Tomatoes has a 47%.
Of the first movie or the second movie?
The first movie.
Oh, the first movie was great. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved the first movie. As a Mortal Kombat fan, that was pretty good for a first Mortal Kombat movie. Now,
IMDb and Metacritic say it was slightly above average, and Rotten Tomatoes said it was barely average.
Well,
if average is 50%. If you look at Mortal Kombat Annihilation, IMDb says 3.7, Rotten Tomatoes says 2%, which is not good.
No.
And Metacritic says 11.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just, again, my opinion is just really, really, really bad. Really, really, really bad.
I'm honestly agreeing with you, like 100%.
Is there anything good about, okay, you know what? Let's stop talking about the bad stuff. Let's see if there's anything good we can take out of that movie. You know what I mean? Like, what I think, I thought that Cyrax and Smoke looked pretty good, in my honest opinion, because it looked like they took him right out of the game. Because in the game itself, they made the cyborgs by taking like off-roading equipment, like off-road biking gear,
right,
and painting it different colors and filming it. That's all they did. So this looks like an updated version of that. I like the look of the robots. I do too. They were pretty good. Liu Kang looked like Liu Kang, obviously. Shiva,
very surprising.
I thought Shiva was too thin. This is going to be really bad, but Shiva, in my opinion, looked really thin and not really menacing whatsoever. Shiva was the first female boss of the games. And she got to have, big muscles, and she has to have like an overpowering type look. Again, the actress is beautiful. She did a decent job, I guess, portraying Shiva, but I thought she would need like a more of a menacing look. What about you?
I actually feel the same way about Shiva, for sure. Something actually that I noticed with Mortal Kombat 2 is it had potential.
Oh, of course it did.
100%. It was there. Like, you could take that, like what was the final draft, back to the writing room, and you could figure out a better way to do it. And if, of course, the acting was a bit less dull and disinterested. That is just my perspective. I could be wrong on how they felt in the moment, but from what I noticed, it did seem disinterested. I feel like 100% it had a lot of potential. It could have done a lot better, and it is a shame that it did as bad as it did.
Well, again, it's a movie from 1997, right? It did not age well.
There is one particular scene that I'm thinking of is too political to mention.
Oh, are you talking about the scene with the twin towers in the back?
Yeah.
Whatever.
That did not age well.
No, it didn't. But, even though 1997, it was like, what, 4 years? I don't do math very well.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years before that incident happened. But that's
just
fine.
under 4, but yeah.
Whatever. But I guess. But I guess
that's a little bit of a meme on a darker joke meme on the Weber nets.
Maybe to change the topic just a little bit, we can talk about other things now, I guess. But just to change the topic a little bit, when Rob comes back, if he comes back, because having a fussy baby and all that sort of stuff, and his wife.
Yeah, that is a child.
That is a child. Yeah, he has a child.
Like, can be quite fussy sometimes.
Like literally brand new baby. Like brand new baby. Like
just purchased from the store, fresh out of the wrapping.
That's right. Like it's the warranty's not even up.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No warranty on the brand new from the store, just out of the wrapping.
That's right. Like just a couple.
They should get that registered.
It's a couple of weeks ago. But when Rob comes back, Rob is a champion beatboxer.
Okay, you did not tell me this.
Yeah,
you told me he does beatboxing.
Yeah,
and that he makes beats.
Yeah.
You did not tell me he's a champion beatboxer.
He's a champion beatboxer. Yeah, he's a champion beatboxer. He's very good at what he does. I was going to put him on the spot, but he had to go with the little fussy baby, and I'm hoping he comes back.
Hopefully he does.
I'm going to message him. While we're talking, and I hope he comes back. So it's been about a half an hour since he left. But
oh, geez, really?
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, right?
That's true. I should get like a timer going, really, for when we do this, so I know how long we've been recording.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter, right? Like I'm pretty sure people won't listen the whole time. I hope
You'd be surprised.
I hope they do. I hope this isn't too boring for the first time listeners.
I am a frequenter of the podcast area of media. So we've been recording for what looks like about 50 minutes.
Almost an hour? Yeah, almost an hour.
Yeah, 50 minutes, give or take like a few minutes. I listen to a lot of podcasts myself, sometimes as background, sometimes like full attention given to the whole thing. But listen time, it's all the way through, unless there's like a mid-roll for advertisements and sponsors and whatnot.
Well, it would be great if we could get to the level we can get sponsors. That would be amazing.
Could you imagine?
That would be amazing.
Imagine?
That'd be great. Like maybe we can get sponsored by, I don't know, people who make movies or something. It's about time. I've been in the media business.
Industry supported podcasts.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been in media for like 25 years. You know what I mean? Like I've been in and out of media for a very, very, very long time. And it's just seen different things. Like you're in film school.
Yep, this is true.
Yeah, you're in film school. And
it's hard to watch movies.
Oh boy, does it ever. You know what I mean? Oh boy.
I miss not knowing as much as I do.
Does it ever make it hard? I can't watch movies now. Okay. I can't watch newer movies now Like I can watch older movies. Like I'm scrolling through because I rented Mortal Kombat Annihilation on YouTube, right? So the movie just ended. So I have my YouTube up right now. So on here, when I want to watch movies, like I don't own a DVD player. I own a PlayStation, but
if you have an Xbox, that also works.
Well, I own a PlayStation. I don't own an Xbox.
Okay.
I've never owned an Xbox. I don't really like Xbox, but that could be a topic for another day.
That is the console wars.
It is.
It's Pepsi and Coke. Android versus Apple.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Android.
Windows.
I have a Google phone for me, but
that is still sort of an Android-ish, like OS.
Android-ish. Yeah, it is. But so I have my YouTube up right now, right? So
right.
on my YouTube purchases, this is kind of a person I am. This is the kind of movie that I like to watch, right? So I got Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I rented that movie. It was like $4. And
like
the worst $4 I've ever spent in my life. And believe me, I've purchased a lot of questionable things. In my
I surprisingly can relate 100% to that.
I have 3 seasons of Mythbusters. I love Mythbusters.
Loving that.
Season 8, season 10, and season 18. You know, I might buy more later on. I have Blast from the Past. You ever heard of Blast from the Past?
I have not, actually.
It's a movie the year before you were born, 1999. It stars Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone. It's a movie where back in the 60s or 70s or whatever, I forget the name of the year, back in the Cold War, I guess.
Ooh.
Brendan Fraser's parents are a little bit loony. They're not all there. And his dad builds this ginormous bunker underneath their home. And one day...
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, one day, I guess... the presidents or something like that were going off, something along the line. But anyways, they had to go and go down into the bunker. And I guess when they went down into the bunker just to prepare, I guess a plane crashed in their backyard and they thought that the nuclear war happened. Right.
Oh.
So they're trapped downstairs in the bunker, in the bunker underneath his house, and this plane crashed in the backyard. And so the bolt's locked. So they stayed down there for like 30 years.
Jesus.
Right. So they missed flower power. They missed the hippies. They missed the grunge era of the 90s.
Oh, that was the best part.
They missed all this sort of stuff. And then eventually they start running out of stuff. So they send up their son, their grown son, right? So when they went down there, his mom was pregnant with him, right? So she was pregnant, went down there, gave birth down there, raised down there, and so he comes up, and it's just a really cool movie. I really like that movie. I recommend watching it if you have a chance. Called Blast from the Past. We'll talk about that movie later. Once I'm a little
that is something I'm gonna have to watch.
That
sounds really interesting.
A little bit more prepared. I recommend it. The next one I have is Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I saw that one.
Right? Yeah. So that's the next one.
Wasn't that 2019?
It was 2019. The next one underneath that one, I have the original Ghostbusters from 1984.
Also a phenomenal movie. Are we not going to talk about this wonderful animated movie that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Batman?
Oh, you want to talk about it?
We need to talk about this.
You want to talk about that? Well, I don't really
100% have to.
I don't really remember the whole thing, but I watched it just recently, I guess in the last couple of months. I think I've watched it.
I think I saw it in January.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
I kind of liked it. It was a good one. It was a pretty good one. I liked it.
I was browsing through YouTube, just scrolling through my recommended, and like a clip from that movie was there. It said Batman versus Shredder, and I thought, this can't be a thing. This isn't real. No way. And I click onto it, and like it's actual decent animation. It looks like a real thing, and I am genuinely shocked. And I look into it, it's real. Like, it blew my mind seeing this, and of course all the small jokes from the TMNT series with the turtles and little Batman references from some of the older shows. It was great.
Still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because it sounded like you cut out there for a second.
No, I just stopped talking after I said great.
Oh,
I just stopped.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it was a decent little movie. Now the next one down, I guess, Ghostbusters from 1984. I have a buddy of mine, Dave, who's really into Ghostbusters, like really, really into Ghostbusters.
I mean, who are you gonna call?
Well, if it was about Ghostbusters, I would call my buddy Dave.
Well, there you go.
I also have another buddy, Brendan, who, ironically, Dave was my college roommate when I was going to film school, and so was Brendan.
Oh my
right?
God.
So Dave and Brendan. Brendan actually helped produce the documentary on Ghostbusters called Ghost Heads.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen Ghost Heads?
I have not. I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah, there's a documentary about Ghostbusters fandom called Ghost Heads, and he helped produce that. So
is that the name of someone in that fandom then?
No, that's
Ghost
the
Head.
name. If you're a Ghost Head, that you're a big fan of Ghostbusters.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so it's called Ghost Heads. I recommend watching it. I might even see if I might even see if I might be able to get Brendan on here. He's a big guy. He's a nice guy. Really cool guy. The next movie I have underneath is Bohemian Rhapsody. Also,
Never seen it.
Phenomenal movie. If you're a fan of the band Queen, it's a really good movie. They had some of the things wrong, like timeline wrong, but that's okay, I guess.
That, like, the song Bohemian Rhapsody,
yeah,
I'm not a fan of it, honestly.
Oh, why? Everybody loves Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, apparently not everyone.
Apparently not. What don't you like about Bohemian Rhapsody?
So, first things first, I want to clarify one thing.
Okay.
When Bohemian came out, people didn't right away like it, and it resurged in popularity when it was in some movie in the early 2000s, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about the general timeline on that, but that is generally how that went.
Well, it was a big fan.
Yeah, sure, it had a lot of fans, but like there was, I think, a lot more people when it first came out that were openly saying, I'm not a fan.
When it first came out?
When the song came out.
Originally.
Yeah.
Well, then you need to watch the movie because they touch on it. But it gained popularity again when it was featured in Wayne's World.
That was it, Wayne's World. I was trying to remember what it was. So from a mixing standpoint, like, obviously, Queen, big band, they know how to mix their songs. I would argue that a lot of the stuff they did in their mixing helped shape music as we know it today.
Absolutely. There's no voice out there.
So many. I know.
No voice out there like Freddie Mercury.
He is he is a phenomenal singer.
Well,
the band Queen. I love Queen. I'm not saying I don't like Queen. I don't actively go and listen to Queen songs like on the daily, but I do like Queen.
Well, I won't hold that against you.
Bohemian Rhapsody, for me, it feels a bit too fast paced. Like, there's too much happening in 7 different styles, basically.
In the song itself?
Yeah, like it feels like there's 4 different songs happening.
Well, at the time, it was one of the longest songs out there.
Yeah,
at the time.
That to me is awesome. That is, like, groundbreaking. That is history.
Yeah.
So I'm not doubting that Bohemian Rhapsody isn't like a staple in music history. I'm saying that, in my personal opinion, I'm not a fan of like the 3 or 4 different styles in one song.
Well, then I recommend watching the movie. So that's homework for you, because we're going to talk about this movie probably later on down the road. So you got to watch that movie.
Oh God, that was one I was looking to not see.
You need to watch it. You need to watch it. Right.
Oh.
So the next one on my list, on my YouTube thing here is Avengers Infinity War.
Okay.
Right. So
okay. How do you feel about that one?
I liked Avengers Infinity War. I have something to admit. Okay. I'm not that big of a comic book movie fan. Right.
Okay.
I've seen the Avengers movies, the core Avengers movies. So I've seen Infinity War. I didn't see Infinity War when it was out in theater. Like I wait until later on to see.
I think
see
Infinity
movies.
War and Endgame I saw in theaters. Was it Captain America versus Iron Man? I saw in theaters. Any other? I guess they're one of the Avengers movies. One of the other ones I saw in theaters, but I don't normally go out of my way to go and see a movie in theaters.
No, I don't either. I really don't. So I seen Infinity War. The only reason why I got Infinity War on here is because my buddy Dustin, who wanted to take me to see Infinity War, because I really honestly wasn't going to go see it at all. He said, you have to see this movie, and if you don't want to pay for it, I'll pay for it, so I'll take you. So I went on a mandate.
I think you told me about this.
Yeah, I went on a mandate to go see Infinity War with my buddy Dustin.
You told me about this.
And so we went and seen the movie, and because he bought the tickets, he got a digital version of the movie. No. Was it that one, or was it when he bought the DVD? Yeah, it was when he bought the DVD, right? He gave me the digital version of it.
Yeah, because a lot of DVDs now come with a digital copy that you can just kind of yoink.
Yeah, so I did that. So I didn't buy Infinity War, which is good because I probably would never have bought it anyways. The next one I have under is Deadpool.
Okay, Deadpool.
Now that's a comic book movie that I will watch 1 billion times over.
It is so fun. Have you seen Deadpool 2?
I have that on the list too. Is Deadpool 2?
So good.
You know, so I love Deadpool. I love Deadpool 2. It was an amazing movie.
Ryan Reynolds killed it.
He did, and he's perfect for Deadpool. Like,
you've seen his Twitter, right?
Oh yeah. And if I was a drinking man, and I had enough money, I don't have enough money, but
I'd have a drink with that guy.
No, he owns a gin company, right? So Ryan Reynolds
buy from his company.
I would buy from his company too, but I just don't have the money for it.
What is that company that he owns? I did not know this.
The gin company?
Yeah,
you'd have to look it up. Let's look it up right now. Ryan Reynolds gin, right? Ryan Reynolds gin. So Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
yeah. Aviation or something?
Aviation American Gin.
Aviation American Gin. So that's the gin company that he owns.
I really love this website.
If I had the money, and if I was famous enough to get a bottle of gin from him, I would try it. But that's not a drinking man, right? But Ryan Reynolds is perfect for Deadpool. Perfect. Like, you couldn't have
for sure
casted Deadpool any better. Like, any better. Like, he's Canadian, for one. Deadpool's Canadian in the comic books.
What was it? BC?
Yeah, he's Canadian. So, again, Ryan Reynolds, Canadian. And he can fight like a son of a bitch. You know what I mean? So he's really, really good. So
a lot of the lines, like the joke lines, like those cocky insults. Yeah.
Ad-lib.
Like they would do just a series of him saying just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And they chose the funniest.
Yeah, ad-libbed. A lot of that movie was ad-libbed. So Ryan, if you're listening, which you probably aren't, but if you are listening, I'll take a bottle of gin if you want to send me one as a fan. That'd be awesome. But
if you want to sponsor the podcast,
that would be even better. That would be even better.
Sponsored by aviation, but not.
Now,
not.
Speaking or not, probably not.
We currently are not sponsored by aviation.
No, we are not. We are not
jokes.
sponsored
that
by
was jokes.
anybody at all. But speaking of Ryan Reynolds, the next movie that I have underneath Deadpool is Logan. Right? Oh, is that a slow clap? Are you giving me a slow clap? Good job. Oh,
that's good.
The whole Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman fight that's going on right now, right? Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. That's funny, but in my opinion, I think that Ryan Reynolds is believes to be above Hugh Jackman in my eyes. Don't get me wrong. Hugh Jackman played Logan and Wolverine absolutely perfect. Again, the perfect cast was Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I can't see Wolverine anybody else.
I think I agree with that, actually.
You know, but if I had to choose the best actor, it would be Ryan Reynolds. Not just because he's Canadian, but just because of it's Ryan Reynolds, and I've seen the kid grow up. You know, I've seen him in his younger days, and I watched this show. Like we used to air the show at work. I forget the name of the show now, but we used to air it, and he was in it, like a Canadian kids sitcom type deal, like a kids drama from back in the day, and he was in it.
I don't
like
know if I ever saw that when I was working there.
No, I don't think you did. But
was that before or after me?
That was after you.
Okay,
after you, and then the next one underneath that is Deadpool 2. You know. So
of course,
Deadpool 2, and that's where my list ends. So the top is like Deadpool, Logan, Deadpool 2, right? But not in that order. If I had to put it in 1, 2, and 3, it would be Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and then Logan at the bottom.
I can't like find it within myself to rank any favorite actors.
Oh, I don't have a favorite actor. I just have favorite movies. But if I had to choose a favorite actor, it would probably be Ryan Reynolds.
Like I can't do that. I don't know what it is.
No.
Am I allowed to say Tammy?
Tammy, as in like.
Yeah.
Oh. Hate you right now. Why'd you bring that up? Now I need to explain it.
Well, you don't have to.
Bastard. Okay. Where we live, I'm not going to reveal where we live, but where we live,
decision.
There is well, if people are interested, they'll look up Tammy and then they'll find out where we live, right? But I'm not
popular, is it? Like
it's not very popular at all. Like I'm in the show and I've barely watched it. I used to get paid to watch it. We used to air it on my TV station at work all the time. We used to air. We don't air it anymore. But
I think I was there for like the tail end, like it was still just barely being aired and then it stopped.
Well, no, we aired the whole thing. Like every single episode, every single season, we aired it. I got paid to watch it. And I'm in it as an actor in it. I've been in it since day one. And I even directed some of the episodes. And I still won't watch it. But Tammy,
I did a little bit of Googling.
Yeah, Tammy is. No, you won't be able to find it, but you can find it on YouTube. It's
maybe.
all on YouTube. No, not maybe. It is. It's all on YouTube.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Tammy is spelled Tami, is a local soap opera that a mutual buddy of ours named Craig. He produced it, directed it, wrote most of it, probably all of it. And,
here it is.
And he did that, and I was cast in it from day one. And it was just a local soap opera. It started off as, the characters were witches and warlocks and things like that. Just really, really corny stuff. And my character, Kevin, which, at the very beginning, there was only like 6 characters. So he just named us all after our actual names. I was the comic relief, right? I was the comic relief. And
you look very different now than you did.
Oh, very much so.
When it was being filmed, you look so different.
Very, very much so. Back then,
I imagine I would look very different as well. Like, compared to currently to the day that was being filmed.
Back when we were started to film that. When did we start to film that?
Was it like 2005 or something?
No. It was after I came back from college. So it was 2000. I want to say like 2015.
Oh, 2000, that recent.
It's been, it was recent. 2015, I want to say. I could be wrong. I honestly don't really give a fuck, but it was back then, 2015, maybe even 2014. I don't know, but there's like 6 seasons of Tammy, and it's just really bad. If you really are interested in watching it, if you really want to watch it, look up Tammy, Tami, soap opera
on YouTube, and you'll find like a YouTube channel.
You'll find it
has everything on it. It's
right. You'll find it, and just prepare yourself.
It's something.
Yeah, it's something. So just prepare yourself. Why did you bring that up, man? Like I know I said at the very beginning, all topics are out of bounds except for those 2. But why?
I think we have a third now.
We have a third now. What?
We have a third topic now that's out of bounds.
No, it's not.
No.
But just I never thought you would have brought that up. Right? I never thought you would have brought that up.
I've only seen like bits and pieces of the show. So I had no idea what was going on whenever I watched it.
Really?
I was so confused, but because of that confusion, like it was like season 6 that I was seeing on the stream. Mm-hmm. So I was so lost, but I was so intrigued. Like, what is happening? What is happening with these characters?
Well, I was in it again from the very beginning. My character was comic relief because I was the big guy. Like, if you see me there, you want to know what I look like. I was the really big guy with the beard. So that was me.
Named Kevin.
Right. So I was the big guy, but then I made the mistake. I don't think it was a mistake, but I made the suggestion to Craig, the writer, that I wanted a better role in it. And he ended up making me this psychopath. Apparently I was employed in media, and then I got laid off in media, and I couldn't afford my medication anymore because apparently I was all of a sudden bipolar. I took Tammy's niece hostage. I beat her up. I forced pills down her throat. I got her
Kevin
drunk.
In the show, not you, Kevin.
Not me in real life, but Kevin in the show. Kevin,
don't take this out of context.
Yeah, so I did all this in the show. I held people hostage with guns and stuff like that, all in the show. And I'm an actor in real life, right? So I'm a theater actor in real life. So while I was doing plays and things like that, I did Jesus Christ Superstar while I was on the show. I did Mary Poppins while I was on the show. And to cut me out of the show, I was shot twice. First time I was shot, and then the second time I was shot, I was in a coma. It was just weird stuff.
Didn't you get run over too?
Or did you no. Run over someone? I ran over somebody.
Right. Okay, that was it.
Yeah, I ran over somebody because I was manipulated by somebody to do that. So it was just, yeah. So it was just that. So you know what? Right now, I think it would probably be a good idea to sport our social media,
Yes.
right? To talk about our social media stuff. We're on Instagram and we're on Twitter and we're on Facebook and things like that. So with our Instagram, and I'll mention this all again at the end of the show. We're on Instagram as There's No Josh, and on Twitter
Same as Twitter.
as There's No Josh. And on Facebook, it's There's Nobody Here Named Josh podcast on Facebook. So you can look us up there.
All the profile photos, by the way, they are all the same. You will know one from the other. It's all it is all the same logo.
It's all the same logo. Yeah, which was created by my buddy Aaron Alessandrini. He'll be on the show later on. He'll come on the show. He's a graphic designer. He's a musician.
Shout out to Aaron.
Yeah, he's really good. It pretty much all started because I was talking to Aaron. Well, no, it all started because of Adam, but the boost, I guess it was, to start all this was because I was talking to Aaron about how bad the Mortal Kombat Annihilation movie was. And I sat there and I guess I could just go ramble on and on and on about it. And I guess I might as well just do this podcast thing. So here I am. Right?
Yeah, man. Podcasts are good. Gotta love podcasts.
I'm having a good time. I honestly, now thinking about it, I honestly think that Rob's not coming back.
You know, something tells me he might not be.
I don't think he's coming back, but which is okay. Again, he has a very young baby, like fresh out of the wrapper, that kind of stuff. And
yeah, right from Walmart.
Right from Walmart. Ha! That reminds me.
That reminds you of something?
That reminds me of something. What? It does. When my daughter was really young, she was obsessed with Walmart. Okay.
What a strange thing to have an obsession over.
Well, the only reason why that is because my former sister-in-law works at Walmart. Right? So she works there. And my daughter looks up to my former sister-in-law like an idol.
Okay.
Right? So
it makes more sense.
She would buy things from Walmart and my daughter would talk about everything being from Walmart. So when my daughter was really young, we would go for walks all the time, and she would pick up rocks and she would pick up things. And just one day she picked up a acorn. Okay. And she kept this acorn with her all the time. And then one summer we went out to camp. Like, we have this camp out in the bush somewhere. And we went out to camp with my dad. And my daughter ran up to my dad one time and took out the acorn that she found on our walk, like from a tree on the sidewalk. And my dad got really excited about this acorn, as you do with a young toddler, right? Get excited.
Yeah, when a toddler is excited about something that they find, you normally should reciprocate those feelings.
Exactly. So you do that, and he get really excited, and my dad started talking. My dad's an outdoors guy, right? So he's hunting, fishing, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so you can totally tell I'm not.
That's kind of the same with me and my grandfather.
Totally not. Like, I'm looking at where I'm recording this podcast right now. Across from me is this big frame of, like, a wooden frame. And in this frame is a picture of my grandfather with a big rifle and a bottle of alcohol with a dead moose laying down.
Jesus.
Like, literally with a moose there, and he's posing with this moose. And yeah, that's the kind of people that my family are. But anyways, I digress. My daughter came up to my dad with this big acorn thing, and he got really excited. And then he asked the question, well, where did you get this acorn? And my daughter happily just spurted out, from Walmart. Because everything was from Walmart. right? So
I mean,
so that
we joke about it, but it kind of feels like it almost.
well, yeah, maybe. Maybe.
If you want to get like corporation style with it.
I guess. It could have been from Walmart. It very well
It was
could have been.
like a bird picked it up from the Walmart parking lot and dropped it.
Yeah, it very well could have been from Walmart.
You never know.
So before we end this, because we're probably going to end this very soon, because it's like 9:45 at night right now. So before we end this, is there any particular other topic you want to talk about? Anything, with the exception of what we've already laid out. Nothing?
At some point, actually, I wanna have a conversation with you about music and about music mixing and recording.
Music mixing. Well, I'm a musician too. Like I'm a singer. You know what I mean? Like I'm a singer. I'm a theater actor. I'm a singer.
I'm genuinely interested to hear like your side of it all, because I'm more of the post-production side. I am never like in front of a microphone like this doing like performing like anything.
No.
So, no, I'll do live streams every now and then of just some video game, but that's the closest I've been.
Well, again, this is a topicless podcast. Again, we're gonna bounce back and forth with different topics. We've already talked about the Super Mario movie. We've
Super Mario, Mortal Kombat,
Pokemon. Video games, Pokemon Go. We've talked about all that. We talked about Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds. We talked about Batman.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten into Dungeons and Dragons, honestly.
Dungeons and Dragons, that's a whole other podcast. That's a whole other episode.
I'm actually making a campaign right now.
I'm an old school Dungeons and Dragons. I sucked at that game. Sucked so bad at that game.
When you say sucked at it, do you mean like you had bad luck with your rolls, or you just didn't know how to do it right?
I just didn't know how to do it right. Like my buddy Lyle, this was back in the 90s, okay? Back in the 90s when he got into D&D, and I was his first character. I was his first player, right? And when he started out being a DM, a dungeon master, or whatever, for the people who don't know what that means, it's the person that runs the game. So I was his first character, and I sucked. And like to this day, I have probably played not very many D&D games. I've probably played, I can maybe say I might have played 30 games altogether. Maybe more, probably maybe around the 50 age, maybe about the 50 range, maybe. And to this day, I still wouldn't be able to know how to make a character. If you were to put the piece of paper down in front of me with a character sheet and gave me a whole bunch of dice, I wouldn't be able to make a character. I wouldn't be able to follow the books and make a character, because that's how dumb I am at that game. And I'm an actor.
One day, you and I say one day, at some point in the future, we're going to come back on this podcast and we're going to talk Dungeons and Dragons, old school versus new school.
Well, you see, I'm not even old school. Like, I'm not even a D&D player anymore. I wouldn't consider myself a D&D player at all. If I wanted to bring someone on to know D&D, I would bring Lyle on.
I would say Aaron even.
And maybe even Aaron. You know what I mean? Because Aaron's a D&D player.
But you have played D&D, so you know.
Yes, I have.
You understand character sheet. You have to get all this information. You can do it all online now.
Yeah, I know. But I have done it. It takes me hours to make a game, to make a character.
It takes everyone hours, but most people focus on like the role play portion. Like, backstory is,
and again,
from a faraway land of Utopilopolis.
Yeah, again,
Utopolopolis.
I'm an actor, and I still can't play that game.
I'm back.
Oh,
sorry.
Back. Whoa, that was random. We start talking about D&D, and he just comes back.
I was gonna drop a TV show quote and be like, "Surprise, motherfuckers!" But no.
I was expecting a D&D joke, if anything.
Oh yeah,
I've never played.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh, you just blew his mind. You just blew his mind.
No, I'm just upset. More people need to
Yeah.
play it.
All right.
It's good.
Well,
it's a good game.
Well, you know what? You're very lucky, Rob, because you're coming in at the almost the near end of the podcast, because we've been talking now for almost hour and a half.
I want to touch back to about an hour ago though. Just for a brief second, I was listening.
Right.
I remember the old theater. I remember the red curtains. I remember the restaurant. I remember all that shit.
You remember? Oh yeah, because you're old enough. You're old enough to remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm older than you. I'm older than you, dude.
Laid back.
I'm older than you, dude. So believe me. Do you remember the grocery store across the street, across the hall from the movie theater?
The grocery store? Or are you talking about the bulk barn?
No, was it a bulk barn?
Yeah, they had a bulk barn in there, and then they closed it down when they did all the renos. They had a mouse problem, and they ended up getting shut down by the health department.
All right, so there was a grocery store there before that.
I've probably been in there, but I don't remember. Do you remember the arcade that used to be in
yeah.
That's as early as I remember. Like the
no.
It was like two separate things.
No. The arcade you remember is not the arcade we remember.
Different arcade.
It is. The arcade we remember is where Tim Hortons is now.
He's probably thinking the arcade Top Hat?
In Galaxy.
Oh, the Galaxy arcade. Like when Galaxy was like the premier Galaxy in Canada, and we had the first and biggest Galaxy, and then they turned it into a dollar store.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is before the dollar store.
But no, the arcade that he was talking about was called EJ's. EJ's. And it was in where Tim Hortons is now in the mall.
I played Terminator pinball for hours in that place.
Right? I have a nice little story about that game, about that area. Okay. Now going back to what we were talking about Mortal Kombat. Again, I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. Big game. Beaten every single game that has the words Mortal Kombat in it. I don't care how bad it was. One year, there was a Mortal Kombat tournament around Mortal Kombat 2, right? So there was a blockbuster tournament where different blockbusters from around Ontario, or I guess around Canada, I guess it's just Ontario, would have different Mortal Kombat tournaments. Like they would have like 4 or 5 Mortal Kombat machines in the blockbuster store. And then you would pay to go into a tournament, and it would be rounded down to one person. Okay. And the end tournament was here in town. So to make a long story short, 5 people, it was a 6-person tournament. 5 people came from outside of town to come to here. Almost revealed where we lived. came.
Luckily, with the magic of editing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to edit. Like this is going to be a very, very minimal edited podcast. Very minimal. Might be a little bit, but very minimal.
As someone who wants to focus like audio editing, this mildly upsets me, but okay.
Does it?
Yeah, like I would edit the whole thing like multi-track if we were doing that.
Oh nah. You got to make it raw. But anyways, so 5 people came from out of town, emerged on our blockbuster, and to make a long story short, I won. Okay. I won the tournament. I used Shang Tsung. And the reason why I use Shang Tsung is because you can transform to all the different characters. So if someone picked Reptile, I would pick Reptile's, alter in it so I can be better than Reptile, but blah, blah, blah. So I won the arcade machine that I won the tournament on. Okay. So this was back in like 94, 95 when Mortal Kombat 2 came out. I was living with my mom, and obviously my mom wouldn't let me bring this arcade machine in because suck power, right? It would horribly rank up the bills. Do you remember the Mortal Kombat machines, Rob?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. You guys can interject. You guys don't have to let me just ramble on,
I'm aware of this.
Well, you guys were playing D&D, but have you played many board games? I'm assuming a D&D player, you've played some board games.
played a fair amount of board games.
I'm not done my story yet.
Oh, well, you told us to intervene.
Yeah, I know I did. I know. But
No, he has to finish his story, though.
I have a confession then, Kev, while you're talking about this. I have never ever played Mortal Kombat on a
arcade machine?
On a machine.
On an arcade machine or a console?
I've played on console, but I've never played on an arcade machine.
Well, you don't know what you're missing. But...
Well, sorry. Let me rephrase that. I've never played on an authentic arcade machine. My buddy Shane has built one, and I've played on an arcade machine, but I've never actually played a genuine Mortal Kombat arcade machine.
A dedicated arcade machine?
Correct.
All right. Well, to make a long story short, I had the Mortal Kombat 2 arcade machine. My mom wouldn't let me bring it into the house because it would suck power and the power bill went up. So I, quote unquote, sold it to EJ's because EJ's didn't have a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade machine at the time because they were just brand new, right? So I sold it to EJ's for unlimited arcade tokens. And because I won the tournament, every Mortal Kombat machine that came in after Mortal Kombat 2, which was just Mortal Kombat 3 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, I came in to test run it. They called me in, and before they put it on the floor, I came in and I played a round. I would beat the tower, and I would test it out, and then they would put it on the floor.
You told me about this when we worked together, I think.
Yeah. So that's my story about EJ's. So I had unlimited arcade tokens from that point until it closed. And to this day, I have no idea where that arcade machine went.
Let's put this into perspective, though. Like, you say tokens, but back then there was no such thing as tokens. That shit drained your quarters.
Yes. No, it was tokens, man.
I had tokens?
Yeah, I had a bag, a purple Crown Royal bag full of tokens that they gave me to go and play. Like, I have no idea how many tokens were in there. But I had unlimited tokens. And when that bag ran out, I brought it back and they refilled it. It was tokens. Some of them took tokens, but I think all of them took quarters, but they took tokens as well. That was very ominous.
Sorry about that.
Did you hit your microphone or something?
Yeah, I did.
Oh. Okay, so yeah. But I don't know whether you were listening earlier. You probably were, Rob. But I hyped you up a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I told... Well, before we started recording, I told Will that you were a beatboxer. And I didn't say what level of beatboxer. I said you're a champion beatboxer, and you are a champion beatboxer. So we talked about this earlier. So I guess to close this out, because I'm looking at closing at about 10 o'clock, so we got like a few more minutes to go.
I got a question quick for your buddy here before we do that.
All right.
Have you ever played a board game? I believe it's called Zombies. It's just straight up zombies, and you literally build the map as you play.
I don't think I have, actually.
All right. I got to look up the name. I'll find it later, and I'll send it to Kev, and I'll get him to forward it to you. It is an awesome game. Like I said, you build the map. You literally randomly draw your map tiles as you go, and each map tile gets zombies and stuff placed on it. And within the map tiles, there's helicopter pads, which are very rare. I think there's 3 of them in the tiles, and there's like 30 expansions to this game now. So you can play for hours, but like you go and you loot, you got to get your bullets and all your stuff. And it's nice. It's a really fun game to play with friends.
I think I know my next game night plan.
Well, I guess we also know another topic for the podcast would be board games. Because I don't know anything about board games. I don't really play them all that much. I would love to learn how to play board games or play more board games.
Jackbox is fun too, console based with your phones.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Jackbox is a good one. I think you can do that on the PC as well through Steam or through a browser or something.
Yeah, you can.
I'm a pretty good Monopoly player. Does that count?
Man, I don't think I've ever finished a game of Monopoly. I've never finished one.
Well, I have been playing Monopoly online with my buddy Tom, and I think our longest match was 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Well, yeah. Monopoly can go for hours.
I've played 6-hour games of Risk.
Those games can go on for days.
Depending on who you're playing with.
Yeah, Like,
have you
Risk?
played Future Risk?
No.
I think we should save this conversation for another podcast because this will go on for like another 2-3 hours.
Oh my
Going too
god.
far.
Okay, so we're running up to the last couple minutes of the podcast. Rob, you're a champion beatboxer. We talked about earlier what you said that I was going to put you on the spot, but we planned it out, so it's technically not putting you on the spot. So if you want to lay a couple beats down before we go, you go ahead and you do that.
All right. I just want to test my levels quick before I do that. I don't want any clipping on your guys' end or it being ridiculously loud. So,
all right.
How's that sound?
That was really awesome.
That was the level test?
Oh. You are now listening to Killer Beats. Everything you're hearing is coming from my mouth. Skip it down. Skip it down. Web shop. Web shop. Web shop. Web shop. Web shop. We shop it up. We shop it up. Web shop. We shop it up.
Ooh. Beautiful.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool?
That is incredible.
All right, so we're going to end it right now. So what I want you to do right now for me, Rob, quietly, I know as quiet as you can get, do another beat, and I'm going to say the ending part, and then I'm just going to end it right out on you doing some beatbox.
Alrighty.
All right, so you start whenever you want, and I'll just talk right over you.
All right.
Well, that was our very first edition of There's Nobody Here Named Josh podcast. I'm Kevin, your host, alongside Will, and today's guest, Rob, who's doing this beatboxing right now. There's Nobody Here Named Josh podcast, produced by Adam Upper, a.k.a. Stump Chunkman, and our logo on our social media was created by the amazing Aaron Alessandrini. You can follow us, what we're doing right now, on our social media at There's No Josh on Instagram and Twitter. Both names are the same on Instagram and Twitter, and There's Nobody Here Named Josh podcast on Facebook. So do you have anything to say, Will, before we go?
I am speechless by this beatboxing. I can't.
Awesome. So again, There's No Josh on Instagram and Twitter. There's Nobody Here Named Josh on podcast on Facebook. I will see you guys around, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you later.
Take care.
DJ out.